think we're live. G'day guys and girls. Welcome back to the Race Spec Esports YouTube channel. It's Sunday night, which means it is the Race Spec F1 leagues on a Sunday night as usual. And we're back once again for RS4 here for the Japanese Grand Prix, which we're going to take you now to the have a look at the track map. That was a bit all over the shop there, but the Suzuka is where we're at today at 5.807 kilometers, 3.6 odd miles, I think it was, just the one DRS straight. 18 corners make up this track. I've forgotten what numbers are to the left and what numbers to the right because I didn't have any notes ready, but anyway, it's 3.608 miles. The other part of it's there. So we could have potentially a championship decider today here at the Japanese Grand Prix, and it's potential here because both the guys that are still in the championship hunt are still here. Oh, sorry, still here. They're still both racing, so there's a possibility that it could still go on to maybe another week or maybe even to the finale at Brazil. So there's only a couple more rounds left to go, but let's take you to the live action, shall we? And I do apologise, everybody, if there's a few drop frames, I should say, maybe lag spikes along the way. I think that's the usual case with my internet on the Sunday sort of thing, so hopefully it might rectify itself maybe a little bit better as well. But just let me know as well, the audio as well, whether I think the gaming audio is still good from, I think, Tuesday night, and I've upped my mic audio a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. Yeah, just to see whether it makes any difference or not. But you can see we've got 16 runners here under clear skies here at Suzuka. So we've got 16 runners with us tonight. So pretty good turnout this time around. We are missing a few drivers. Let me just go through them very quickly. Actually, I might just double check the absence channel to see. Okay, so Chapasaurus Rex is another one that's just joined the club. So we've got Half King who's missing once again. We've got Kavudi, who's not here. There's probably a few others, and like I mentioned, Chapasaurus Rex. There's probably a few others that are not here racing, which they still haven't given their reasons as to why sometimes, so I just don't get it. There's a reason for an absence channel. I wish some people would use it a little bit more, and probably some of the admins would probably say the same thing. But there's a lot to cover after last week's Spanish Grand Prix, but you haven't seen it, go check it out from last week. It was certainly an entertaining race, to say the least. In the end, it did turn out to be Ecos Rick that came out with the victory because he got both his 5-second penalties removed. So he's back again with us this week as a racing in the racing point this week. I think it was in the Haas last week, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he took the eventual race. Bags Liddell actually won the race on track, but of course, with taking the 5-second penalties away, it ended up being this man here on your screen, Ecos Rick. But there is a few others, stewards' inquiries that were from that race. So Kavudi, who of course is not racing here, he's received a couple of quali bans, which he'll probably have to serve at the next 2 races since he's not racing here tonight, obviously. So he'll have to assert those quali bans, which probably won't be a bad thing at, Monaco especially, but at Brazil might be a little bit difficult. It's one of the Red Bulls just had a little bit of a spin coming through Dunlop curve, it looks like. Kurt Boy in there in the Red Bull. He goes very wide. I think it's really validated his lap time, but he's got front wing damage there, I see, on his left-hand side of the front wing. That Ferrari there, you can see here, is actually Metz, who's actually, I think he's had to rejoin. But he started in the lobby, as actually Kurt Boy's just retired now, so as he's just had a bit of a crash, but it looks of it coming out of the hairpin at turn 11 there. So it is tricky to do, obviously, getting on the power a little bit too early. Probably have to shift up the gears a little bit just to avoid all the wheel spin, and that's probably called Kurt Boy out. So he'll start from the rear of the grid. But what else we got from last week? So Kavudi got obviously a few penalty points actually, which plus a quali ban, which we didn't see, I don't think, last week. But he obviously got a couple of more penalty points as well, which added on has been tallied obviously enough to have 2 quali bans. So Kick Butt Kiwi as well. He's back this week with us in the Ferrari. He also got the two penalty points for the collision, I think, with Ecos Rick. And the other ones, which were just brought out recently, Kavudi also got a 5-second penalty, and then also that extra license point, which obviously he got over the penalty point limit for a quali ban, so hence why he got the second quali ban. But obviously got a 5-second penalty for that collision he had with Ivan, who's not here with us this week. But obviously it looked a pretty silly move to do at the coming out of into the final chicane. He really see people pass around there, but anyway, it's just something to learn from anyway. But and the other one was Batuka. He actually got a warning removed in the end when he was trying to make a move on Ned Hug My Dog, which obviously he got the warning removed, which means he got 3 seconds less a penalty. So in the end, he still finished up in P3, as it turned out on the totem pole. Because obviously, once everything shaked up, finished up Ecos Rick, and then Bags Liddell in second, and then Patuka finished up in third, then Ned Hug My Dog finished in fourth, and I think Scotty, our championship leader, was in fifth. So still the championship is still on the line. Like I said, there's only this race and a couple of, obviously, Monaco and Brazil left to go. So championship is still on the line here. Even going by what Ned said last week, he wasn't sure whether he was going to make the last few races, but he's here this week at the Japanese Grand Prix, so maybe he might still be coming to the next 2 races as well. But yeah, if he's still racing, he keeps his championship hopes alive. But of course, Scotty needs to outscore him. Oh, that was a big crash. Massive crash there for Scooter Matata, who's out of qualifying. That was coming through the S-curve. Where is that? Turn 4? And his tyre's absolutely all over the shop here. Where's a better shot there? There we go. So I'm going to hazard a guess he's touched that inside curve there. As you can see where that Red Bull's coming through now. I think that was Bags Liddell. And it's ended up going for a spin, which can catch you out. If you just touch the curve just a tiny little bit, it'll catch you out big time here. So, again, another driver out of qualifying. Who we going here? We've got a few guys on the laps here. Bags Liddell's leading the way with a 26.773 on provisional pole. Of course, he would have had provisional pole last week had it not been for that 5-place grid penalty that he got. I think it was from Kavudi. Patuka now goes to the top with a 26.290. Just blows them out of the water now in that racing point. As his 3 race winning streak came to an end last week. And this man's been on fire at the moment ever since he joined RS4. We'll see with the closure of RS3. Still a few guys at the moment, so he's at the top, 26.290. Bags Liddell's now second. It could change. We'll wait and see if he improves. It's one of the Mercs just gets out of the road there. Not sure whether that's Ecos, Chris, or Volcanic. Let's see whether Bags Liddell can improve. Crosses the line, doesn't improve, but stays second with 26.601. And it's Chris, so it was Chris that in the Merc. Comes into the pit lane at 26.826. Grim Reaper's there in fourth. He's back with us this week. 26.920 ahead of Scotty, our championship leader, who's just flying through 130R as we speak. On the 26.960. So we'll wait and see whether he improve or not. Looks like he's just about to finish his flyer. Good to see they've gotten rid of the bump this year. As he goes third now, goes onto the second row of the grid. So that's a good starting spot for him. Into 26.818. Yes. Obviously, if you haven't noticed already, they got rid of the bump this year out of the final corner, because that's not what is the case in real life. It's less bumpy than what it was in the past games. I know, shock horror. It's been a little late into the game cycle, but I mean, it was a late start for me as a commentator. So yeah, I'll say that. Ecos Rick now puts a racing point 1-2 on the front row. So nice lap from him with a 26.392. See if we can actually find somebody who's going to start a fly here and go for a lap of Suzuka. That's Metz just coming across the line, goes 12th. Might jump aboard here with Ned Hug My Dog and see if we can get a clean lap through here as he takes a nice tight line through out of the final corner. Flat out, DRS open as Chris just leaves the pit lane. Flat out into turn 1. Breaks it nice and deep there into turn 2. Runs it a little bit wide. Not too wide, obviously, because you validate. Now, nice and cautiously through here. So he absolutely gives it to the gears. In that Alfa Romeo. Now flies it through the Dunlop curve. Way out wide. Very nice. Keeps it in track limits. Here's a tricky one to test out at the Deckner curve as the 50-metre board is gone. Can he nail it through here? Yes, he can. Or he gets a little bit sideways. Coming out of that corner, so that might have cost him a little bit. Out of the second Deckner. Now into the tricky hairpin. Use the second. Now quickly goes to third to avoid getting on the power too early. Now through the flying right-hander of turn 12. Now you're lining up now for the spoon curve here at 13. As he goes very wide, just keeps it within the limits. Only just though. As he might get a nice little slipstream here from the Ferrari in the foreground. That's Metz, so that might help him out to gain back a little bit of time, but not too much. Now through 130R. Now take the tight line through to line up to the Casio triangle. It's another tricky corner here as he rides the curbs nicely. It probably won't be his best lap, but it'll do. It goes 27.141, goes 8th fastest on the medium, so it's not too bad overall for Ned. Whether he goes onto the softs a little bit later on, we'll have to wait and see. And his teammate Will behind there in 9th, and Kick Butt rounds out your 10. Seeing who else we got on the fly here is Chris. Just looks like he's starting his lap time. Another fresh set of soft competitor tyres. So there's nearly 3 minutes to go here. Still Patuka leading the way at the moment as it looks like he's about to maybe start his final flying run here. I don't think there'll be enough time to maybe come into the pit lane and go for another set of softs, but so this might be his final run here. But it's currently a racing point 1-2. What do you reckon, guys and girls? Do you reckon anybody else can match Patuka? Can anyone break into that racing point duo at the front, on the front row of the grid at the moment? And even Scotty, our championship leader, maybe put himself up there. Where's Ned at the moment? I don't know. He might be out of fuel here, so I don't think he will get around to get another lap in. Or, sorry, get back to the pit lane and then put on another set of tyres and then go for another lap. So we might see him drop out of the 10. Which won't be ideal, I don't think, considering his championship rival. Like I said, Scotty's currently 4th at the moment, and I think he'll be just about to leave the pit lane like a few others. So we'll wait and see how that pans out. We're still waiting as Will now retires, so he's going to probably start outside the top 10 at this point. So it might not be a good start for Alphas, although they could have a good race, decent race result. Still waiting on lap times for the Rock and Volcanic at the moment. Rock's just about to start his fly. He's going to try and set his lap time on the medium competitive tyres. It's a tricky one here with strategy, obviously going by what I saw in Pacific-wise. Of course, obviously Tier 3 was pretty much wet during the full majority of that race on the, I think it was intermediate tyres. But Tier 1, obviously, there was, you know, a few mixed-up strategies, and, you know, we like that. We always like that, as Chris now retires in the pit lane, I think, so... But there was a good few people mixed up their strategy. So you saw probably people doing soft to hards or soft to mediums. So it's just probably a case of what tire do you want to be on at the end, which one has the better grip for later on. Because even though if you go soft to medium, you're going to have the grip earlier on, but later down the track, it's going to probably cost you big time. And that's probably where the hard competitor tire comes into its fruition. So we'll have to wait and see. Who's going to set the first flyer here? Nachos is just about to start his flyer, so who's that Renault? That looks like a banana. Must be Grim Reaper, his teammate here, so he'll be the first one to cross the line with 40 seconds to go here. Goes 4th fastest at 26.626. The thick banana's just about to set off for his final run. Might get a slipstream from his teammate as one of the Mercs just pulls out of the way, so that's Volcanic, I think, so he might get his lap time invalidated. He might get away with it, actually, as somebody's just jumped up, I think. Whoever the Haas, no, it wasn't a Haas, I don't think. Whoever was in front of Volcanic, oh, it might have been. Oh, yeah, it was the Rock in P12, there were 27.743. Just trying to see where everybody else is at the moment. As Patuka's invalidated, so he won't be improving on his lap time here. unless he wants to cross the line here and see what he would achieve. Can anyone crack into the 25s? He definitely saw a lot of 25s in Tier 1 of Pacific. Crosses the line, 26.087 he would have set, so it would have dominated his run. He crosses the line now. Rick goes to the top with a 26.112. So that lap time by Batuka, if he had stayed valid, would have been good for a provisional pole for the time being. Who's next on the list? Looks like Banana Cake Pie in P11. So Ned's finished his lap. He's in the pit lane. Nachos is retired. Just wait to see. There's Banana in P11. Can he make himself inside the top 10? Have he push a few guys down the field? Crosses the line. Goes 8th fastest at 26.875. The Haas is next, I think. Looks like Rock's doing another fly here, so doing 2 runs on the mediums. Can he jump himself in the top 10 on the mediums? No, he can't. Does improve, but only just. So there's a little bit close to comfort there between Volcanic and Mets by the looks of things. Volcanic jumps to 14th and Mets 15th. I don't think that's a weave there. Bags Liddell's just split the two of them. There are 2 racing points. Scotty only stays 4th. So who was that? That's Grim coming into the pit lane. So yeah, Bags Liddell split now the 2 racing points. Who else are we waiting on here? But yeah, I think must have buggered up his run somewhere because he's just going very slowly. I don't see him with any fuel light on, so he must have. Well, he hasn't invalidated his lap time from what I can see, but. Oh, no, well, okay, now the fuel light's just come on. Okay, fair enough. And nice lag, typical. So, the drop frame rates won't be much of an issue for too much longer. But there you go. That is qualifying done and dusted here. Who knows what will happen in the race, but going by what some guys were doing on the mediums, I dare say it's going to be a dry start. So it's Ecos Rick once again. That gets another pole position of 26.112. 0.143 of a 10th quicker than Bags Liddell in P2, who'll start on the front row of the grid this time, so have a much better run this time around compared to last week. Batuka again in position 3. The championship leader Scotty in 4th, then Grim Reaper in 5th. Kick Butt Kiwi 6th, Ecos Chris in 7th, Banana in 8th, Jay Nachos in 9th, and Ned, importantly, remains in the top 10 and will start on the medium compound tyres, so keep an eye on him. His teammate Will just misses out in 11th, and The Rock in 12th. Schooner Batata 13th, Volcanic 14th, Mats 15th, and Kurt Boy, who of course didn't set a lap time, rounds out the 16-car field. So, while these guys work out what strats they're going to be doing and what the weather is going to be doing, that'll be the main point. I'm going to take a quick drink, and I'll come back to you shortly with the stand. All right, so there's the championship standings on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. So it's 44 points between Scotty and Ned Hug My Dog coming into this weekend. Now, important thing to note here is, of course, it's still obviously 26 points up for grabs for the race win and include the fastest lap. So after this weekend, there'll only be 52 points left available in the last 2 races in Monaco and Brazil. So Scotty can somehow manage to get that margin over 52, then he'll be safe and he'll be champion-elect for the final 2 rounds of the season. But you never know, because it could go on to Monaco. We'll have to wait and see. Volcanic's still in position 3, but he's coming under attack from Bags Liddell there in 4th position, I think, from memory. But looks of things, Banana in position 5. Excuse me, then Patuka as well. There's a few guys still, a few minor places still up for grabs as well. 6th for Patuka, Chubasaurus Rex in 7th, Will in 8th, Scooter Matata 9th, and Grim Reaper rounds out you 10. You can check out where your favourite drivers are since I've been babbling on quite a bit. Let's look at the Constructors. It's pretty close actually between both Alfa Romeo and Haas, so that's still up for grabs as well. I dare say that won't be settled until probably Brazil, so it's only a 2-point margin between Alfa Romeo and Haas. Constructor standings. I think Renault's jumped up into 3rd spot now, ahead of Williams in 4th, then Red Bull in 5th, Racing Point in 6th, Mercedes in 7th, McLaren in 8th, AlphaTauri 9th, and Ferrari round out 10. So there's still a few minor placings up for grabs there. So let's get back to this screen, where you'll see, obviously, let me fix this up. There you go. So obviously, top 10, that includes Ned, of course, who qualified on the mediums. We'll start on their tyres that they qualified on. So the top 9 are on softs, and Patuka obviously got himself disqualified, not sure how. But Ned, importantly, is on the mediums, so keep an eye out for him. His teammate Will's doing the exact same thing. Basically, everyone else outside is doing mediums. Rock, Scooter Matata, Volcanic, and Kurt Boy. Metz is the only odd one out doing the soft compounded tyres. So this will be interesting to see how this one plays out. Let's get the telemetry on the screen so you can see what is going on here. But here we go. I think we're all set to go here, hopefully. There's no glitches. Not by the looks of things. So we'll get, once the lights comes on, there we go. 3, 4, 5 red lights for the Japanese Grand Prix. Could a championship be decided? Away we go for RS4. It's a good start from the pole sitter. It looks like a bit of squabbling going around. Patuka's gone absolutely nowhere. I think it was contact in the background. There's cars everywhere. Banana's gone. There's cars every which way you look. Ferrari, one of the Ferraris is off the road. A Racing Point, I think that's Patuka. Chris has also been caught up in all of that. I think Kickbutt Kiwi, I think, was the Ferrari that got caught up in all of that. The yellow flags in Sector 1. Somehow we haven't got a safety car out of all of that. But it's still Rick that leads the way over Bags Liddell in 2nd. Scotty now in 3rd. And more importantly, Grim's in 4th. Still haven't got a safety car, so we might be going green flag racing. Our virtual safety car now gets deployed. Takes some ages, literally. I don't know why this is the case, but yeah, that's all going on there. I knew obviously Patuka was not going to go further, obviously, because he was going to start on, they'd say, cold tyres after being disqualified. Probably not on purpose, obviously, but my goodness me. It's a bit hard to tell. This is why we need the replay system in this game. I only just caught in the background. I couldn't quite work out where it was, but as we get back green flag racing now, but those guys are at the back of the field. I don't think they've got any damage, actually, as Ned's got back ahead of Will by the looks of things. I thought Ned was already in front of Will, but anyway. So, lap 1 somehow somewhat completed, as it's Rick that leads the way by 0.3 of a second over Bags Liddell. Looks like he's got some pretty decent pace in that Red Bull. Scotty in 3rd at the moment. As into the pit lane goes, I think that's Metz. He gets a 5-second penalty as well. Grim in 4th. Jay Nacho's in 5th. He's being chased by Ned Hug My Dog, who's the leading medium compound tyre runner. And then Willie's teammate in 7th. The Rock in 8th. Kurt Boy 9th. And Volcanic in your top 10. And just outside of Scooter Matata in 11th. Kick Butt somehow survived all of that in 12th. And same can be said for Ecos Chris in 13th. He might have a little bit of wing damage, not sure. But Metz has gone around in the Ferrari, coming out on cold medium compounded tyres. Patuka's also in the lane as well. Oh, that was a nasty rejoin there for Metz. That probably might be... We'll have to wait and see whether Patuka may put something in on that one. I don't know, but for the what's that, resetting the track, so probably won't be ideal. someone just spun off the formation lap, Gavin. I'm not... Okay, that probably explain a lot. There's yellow flags. Kurt Boy, there was yellow flags for a short period of time, so I'm only going for a half spin there, Kurt Boy. Just having a look through the chat as well. Banana, what the F was that, man? I never even got to turn my car for the effing corner. Oh, Volcanic's around! And he's gone as well. This may be a safety car here. We'll have to wait and see. Yes, safety car gets deployed. So it must have just literally just nudged the front of that car only by the slightest of touches, and it just off the front left wheel comes. So this will definitely help out these guys behind here, both Patuka and Metz. That's Volcanic, our second driver to DNF, also, along with Banana Cake Pie, who's also out. Who just killed on the straight, yeah. I mean, the stream may have caught a little bit of that Banana, I don't know, but no doubt potentially there might be some stewards inquiries later on. We'll wait and see. But so Chris is in, so he's gone. So he took advantage of this under safety car as he's on cold tyres. So and he'd probably be still stuck under a Delta as well as he will go past the safety car. So he'll have to watch that he doesn't get a drive-through penalty. Or a penalty of some sorts, as also Metz comes into the lane, put on the hard competitor tyres, so those should go to the end. So what do these guys up the front do here? Do they stay out? Does anybody take a gamble, go hard to the end of the race? That's dependent, obviously, on whether we go green flag running there. But man, I feel for Banana. It's not the great way to not even last one corner. Might have just maybe only the one corner in the end, but hopefully luck will turn around at Monaco maybe next week. So probably the same can be said for Volcanic as well. So no one. Okay, here we go. So Rick in, Liddell in, Scotty in, Grim Reaper's staying out. Okay, and Nachos is also in. So there's the soft competitor tyre runners. So what are they going to go on? I'm trying to work out who's where at the moment. Rick on hards. Yes, he just manages to keep ahead of Liddell. Here it's obviously they'll be dropping down the totem pole, obviously. So hards for Rick, Liddell, Scotty, Jay Nachos, Rock, Kick Butt, I think come in. Yes, he has. Where's Chris in all of this? So he probably would have been caught up with all that safety car drama and being stuck with the Delta. 11 seconds, man. I think I know the feeling pretty well, although I haven't experienced it myself, but I've seen plenty of other people only last probably, if somewhat somewhere along those lines anyway, Banana. So, yeah, fortunate way it has to end for your race, unfortunately. So, yeah. But, yeah, Grim Reaper, your teammate's still holding the Renault fort for the time being. They'll probably still get some good points if he, well, obviously the top 15 will score points. Obviously not the guys with the DNFs, obviously, so Volcanic won't score any points because he DNF'd out of this race. So these guys continue to all the way to the end and they'll be getting some points. So does Grim, I wonder if Grim will come in under this safety car or not, or whether he's going to stay out and maybe just stretch the soft competitor tyres longer and then go on the medium competitor tyres. Obviously, he'll have the grip for later on, but these guys, as Kickbutt and Jay Nachos, are not sure what on earth's going on there. They might have just had to switch positions there because it looks like Kickbutt is in AI. What is going on? Jay Nachos now gets a 5-second penalty for severe collision with Kickbutt, so he gets the first penalty of the race. So it might have been a little bit of an issue there, and he also gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. So probably a good thing that what was I saying? Glad for? I'm a bit all over the shop today. Probably a good thing that he came in and put on the hard competitor tyres, because he'd be probably not wanting to pit once again. Who knows? May get those removed, but might have been doing the Sergio Perez tactic from Imola potentially as well. So that's probably a big no-no there. But you know, we'll wait and see how that one goes. brilliant work on comms. Oh, appreciate it, Banana. I've loved doing it ever since I've come into the commentary box after, well, let's just say the first 5 races. I took part in this season for both Pacific and RS2 did not work out well for me, so decided to do this as a second, as a backup thing really. So maybe looking back on it, I probably should have done a bit of commentary this season overall, then come back fully next season. I probably still might commentate maybe just an odd tier next season. We'll have to wait and see. Probably depends on how many tiers we get, I suppose, for next season. If you want to come and join a league while I'm speaking about it, there's a link to the Discord channel down below. Obviously, there's only 2 races to go in the season, for Pacific, Euro, and Americas, which happens on Tuesday nights. And then, obviously, there's a few other leagues as well. On Sunday nights, it'd probably be Sunday mornings. It's dependent, obviously, on your time zones, obviously. But, obviously, this is what we're doing with the RS Race Spec F1 leagues on a Sunday night, but there's also a few other things. I think there's the Classics League that goes on a Saturday morning for myself. Obviously, I took part in the recent one on Saturday in the 2007 Ferrari. There's only a couple of rounds left to go in that season as well. I think it's open cars next week. I know the final round's the 2010 Red Bull and Ferrari at Abu Dhabi, so I think I'll probably be able to maybe to attend that one, but won't see. Maybe gambling on another safety car, Gavin. Yeah, possibly. We'll have to wait and see. So, safety car is in. So it'll be Grim Reaper that returns us to this, the start-finish straight as The Rock gets a 5-second penalty for collision, I think, with Metz. That possibly could be one to get removed later on. And it's Grim that leads the way. Oh, he goes wide. Might succumb the lead. Oh, it's still side by side there as he gets a 3-second time penalty and gets spun by Ned Hug, my dog. I don't think it was really going for a move there. That's probably a risky one. And after leading the return to the green flag, it's all gone horrible. It's gone to pretty much last place now, has Grim. So now Ned Hug, my dog's got the race lead. Oh, God, there's going to be some stewards' inquiries. I'm hoping they all get done. Oh, Ned nearly throws it all the way in the wall. And now he's losing spots. What is going on here in this restart? Up the inside. Oh, there might be a bit of contact here. As he's still side by side with Bags Liddell, but he gets the much bit of grip out of there. These guys on the hards will be on dead set cold tyres for a little while until the temperature comes up and the grip will come back to them. But if there's no more safety cars or virtual safety cars, and these guys look in good step. And everyone's caught back up to each other now. It's like Rick's putting a bit of pressure here on Kurt Boy. Into 130R. We have to go to the outboard shot. There's contact. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there. Just gets away with it. I think Ned avoided him as best he could. Was there ever a car off the road? I think there was. Kurt Boy, I think he's just reset to the track there. So that's, I think, a big no-no there. And now Will is leading the Grand Prix a lap 7. There's Nachos and I think it's Scotty fighting for position. I think they might have switched, so Nacho's up in the 6th position. Scotty now probably just taking the cautious approach here. Probably knows what to do here. Obviously, Ned's still yet to pit. He can go a long way. So effectively, it'll be Bags Liddell who will lead the race once the top 3 obviously come into the pit lane to do their stop. So it's Will leading the way now by 0.6 of a second over Scooter Matata, then into McLaren. Oh, around goes Day Nachos. I put the commentator's curse on him, I think. There goes a wing end plate, I think. He's trying to look for an onboard camera. Yep, he's lost a bit of his left wing end plate there. So, again, that'll probably have to do with the cold tyres. Or maybe touching the curb coming under Dunlop. But he's now put it all in the bin and probably might have to come back in to do another pit stop here for Nachos. Yeah, Jack is back again. You might have to do another comeback at this rate. You'd be hoping for a safety car at this point, I think, Jack. So hold your horses, keep an eye on that McLaren. We'll have to wait and see. We're probably hoping for a safety car. We haven't even had DRS enabled this race, I don't think so, which it will get enabled, I think, this lap. But it doesn't really matter too much because there's only the one DRS straight, which is this one, down the front straight. So DRS gets enabled. It's just going to be a case of straight line speed. So on board with Ned, Hug My Dog. Is he going to go for a move? It's right all over the back of Skidda Matata. He thinks about it, gets a little bit squeezed. That was probably a risky one. He's got to... Oh, Liddell! Probably had to take avoiding action there with what occurred with Ned, possibly. Now slow he was coming out of the corner, but he gets away with it. And lost a spot, obviously, to Rick, who's now up into 4th. And will be an effective race leader once he will pit, obviously. Oh, sorry, once these top 3 pit, obviously, is yellow flags again. Sector 1, it looks like Metz, I think, has possibly had a bit of a spin there. Trying to have a look at his outboard. Yeah, he's got a left wing end plate as well missing, so there's a lot of end plates going missing in this race. So Will now gets a 1 second advantage. That'll help him when we get to the DRS straight. If he can maintain that margin, of course, through the spoon curve. So Chris, oh yeah, Chris was close to the back of Kick Butt Kiwi. This safety car's really helped him out. Of course, he's came in pretty much when that safety car was called, so he's somewhat back in this race. He's chasing after Kick Butt Kiwi, but he's now lost all that margin. Might try for a move out at spoon, but didn't work out in the end. Where's Rick? This will be close. This will be tight. There's contact between Rick and Ned. Ned's in all the action at the moment. Now he's under attack from Liddell. Rick's dropped all the way back to 10th. Hopefully he hasn't reset to the track because that might cause dramas for him later. He's dropped to 11th now behind Kurt Boy. What on earth's happening in this Japanese Grand Prix? This is all working well for Scotty. He's just taking full advantage of all of this. Now he's in effective second spot here, just behind these two. He's got to maintain, obviously, get the tyres up to temperature here. It might be in good stead for later on. Because these guys on the mediums may go longer. Obviously, they'll have to go longer. I think the longest you can go is probably 16, 17 possibly, to go to the end on softs. As I think Rock may have got past Batuka. I'm not sure about that one. But he's close to the back is Batuka. He probably will have to make another pit stop again. He's still carrying that wing plate damage by the looks of it on the left side there, so he's trying to push on, recover something, and of course he'd be probably hoping for another safety car to maybe help him out. Give it a smash on the like button as well and subscribe if you haven't already to the Race Spec Esports channel. Smash the like, obviously, if you're enjoying the live stream. Here's Ned putting pressure now on a Skidda Matata. It's tricky to go around the outside of 130 yard. It's tricky, very tricky. They've both got very little ERS. You try around the outside. There's contact again. Push them out wide and into the gravel he goes. Oh, that was close there between Skidda Matata and Scotty. Probably had to take avoiding action there just in case he didn't ghost, but obviously dropped him a lot of time now. But he's still in 4th now. It's Kick Butt. That was not the camera I was looking for there, Cody's, but Kick Butt also now gets into 5th. So now the temperature, the tyres might be coming up to temperature now as soon as that goes side by side. Rick's just coming back through the field now. He's back to 9th. He's just got past Kurt Boy in the Red Bull. Grim, I think it was battling away with Metz. This Batuka's now got a front wing change and a set of mediums, so he should be okay to go to the end of this race. I think Will just got a little bit sideways there going through the Degner, but he's still got a margin at the moment. Yeah, well, let's just say a lot of people are being pushed into the dirt. Say that. I'll just say that. I'm not going to point the finger at one person. You can have your own views on that one. I'm only just the commentator. So, Nachos was the other one that came into the pit lanes on the mediums. Batuka, 3-second time penalty. I think he's the first one that's actually got a proper time penalty. That's not the one I'm looking for. Oh, sorry, yeah, Grim was the first one. My apologies. So, but the other 3 drivers, so Nachos obviously has got 1 5-second removed. So then The Rock and Metz have got also 5-second penalties. I think Chris just got a move done on Skidda Matata at 130R. So we'll get this back to here. So up in the 6th place now is Chris. And I'll be chasing after Kick Butt Kiwi. There's been a change at the front. The Alphas have switched around. So Ned gets back to the front of the field. Wasn't too long ago he was at the front, but now he's had to make his way through the field. Probably had to use a bit of tyres. Sorry, use a set of mediums. And now Will doing the holding up phase of the teammate side of things. Bags Liddell. But for how much longer can he keep Bags Liddell behind? So further 1.3 seconds back to Scotty in 4th. And Kick Butt in 5th on his own here. Being chased by Chris in 6th. Scooter Matata 7th. Of course, he's yet to pit. Rock in 8th. I nearly said Rick then for a second, but Rick's in 9th. And Kurt Boy rounds out your 10. And Grim's still pushing on the soft competitor tyres. Back to 11th. But he'll be probably coming into the pit lane very soon, I would think. This battle up the front here. It's just starting to pull away a little bit here. Still within that 1 second window as well. So might maintain that margin, although saying that Liddell have a little bit of a think about it. No, you can see the difference of the ERS usage. Will's got a little bit more up his sleeve just in case. Does Liddell think about it? No, he thinks better of it. Better off it, I think I was trying to say. But he will get the DRS as well, so Ned might come under a bit of attack, but I don't think he'll put much of a fight, really. Here comes Liddell. I don't think it's really quite close enough. He might have to bide his time for the time being. This is an error. There was just a little one there for Will, but he gets away with it as he gets a little bit sideways coming out of the exit of turn 2. All this is doing is just allowing Scotty to just come back into this fold as well. Next other driver is Kick Butt, who's a further 2.5 seconds behind. He's got Chris, Ecos Chris, all over the back of him in that Mercedes. Tuka now fastest up the race to the 29.061. Metz comes in for a new front wing. A set of mediums. Grim's still pushing on an 11 up old softs. It's amazing. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that many laps on a set of soft competitor tyres. It must be getting close to a puncture, surely. Although we did have that bit under the safety car, so that probably does help out a little bit. There's Liddell putting pressure on Will. He's nearly got out in the 1 second window here, so that might help him out here, although I can go on a much better run there, so it's a nice gearbox glitch as always. Bags Liddell. He's just coming back to him a little bit. Might have a bit more straight line speed here. That second Alfa Romeo, so he'll remain in the DRS. Scotty's so close, I think, to getting that DRS as well. You see, he's just putting so much pressure here on that Alfa Romeo. How much longer can he hold him up for? I mean, not too much longer, I would have thought. Although he hasn't quite got enough ERS up his sleeve, so I'll have to bide his time again. As Rock has cleared Scooter Matata for 7th. Sees also the other one is on the medium competitor. Started on the mediums. So we'll bring that up here. So there you go. Those are the people who haven't stopped yet. So Kalu, Kurt Boy, and Grim, who's still going on these set of softs. Amazing. And these guys behind have had a couple of stops already to replace wings, unfortunately. That's where we stand at the positional change. Of course, that might change later on in the race. So I'll probably have to bring that back up a little bit later on. And these guys probably still got a couple more laps up their sleeve before they make their way into the pit lane. This must be just frustrating Bags Liddell a little bit here, because he's right on the back of that Alfa Romeo, trying to get past him as quickly as he can. But of course, he's still within that DRS window for his teammate in the foreground, so Ned's not really pulling away like I thought he would. Maybe have something to do with tyres possibly, and I said possibly set up differences maybe. So Liddell having a little think about it going into the Casio triangle. Rock gets a 3 second time penalty. I think that takes him up to 8 seconds. Whether he gets the 5 seconds removed or not, we'll wait and see. Again, these guys get very close here, but I think Ned must have the advantage through the S section here, because you'll probably see the graph, just see him pull away just a little bit. Scotty got into the DRS range as well. So look at these 4 cars very close to each other. And it's another 2.7 seconds back to Kick Butt, who's still hanging on from Chris at the moment in 6th. Of course, he's got 1 lap older 1 lap older hards compared to everybody else. And the Rock in 7th, Scooter Matata in 8th. Ecos Rick in 9th, and Kurt Boy rounds out your 10. As I think these two at the back of the field are battling for 13th and 14th. Every point does count. As I think Nachos is trying to get the move back out Metz for 13th. He does. He's on a bit more older 4-lap difference of medium compounded tyres, Nachos and Metz. So Metz obviously just recently came in, so he'll be battling with these guys. Now 1 second. It's just gone out again, but again it just comes back. Must be to do with the straights, so must be a different setup strategy as yellow flags. That'll be for Metz, who's just around, so that battle's now literally gone out the window. And Ned just currently hanging on, still getting in that 1 second window, so this is helping Will out quite a bit and keeping Bags Liddell behind a little bit longer. Just maybe using up his tyres a little bit more here. So might have to just bide his time here. Scotty also just keeping in the DRS window as well. Thinks about it, just gives him a little nudge just to say hello, I'm here. So he goes a little bit wide and Liddell gets a little bit. As I think, hang on, we're just going to double check here. I think my OBS just disconnected for a little bit there, so apologies, guys. Probably has something to do with my net, of course, but yeah, Grim obviously got a 5-second penalty for speeding in pit lane. Kurtboy, 3-second time penalty in 10th. On very old medium compounded tyres. Oh, Liddell, you can just see, he just wants to get past his Alfa Romeo. And he keeps battling. This might help him out here a little bit to get that margin still under 1 second. But again, you can just see the straight line speed and that Alfa just helping him out, just keeping him within that 1 second window of his teammate. Ball he runs wide through 130R. Is this an opportunity for a move? Probably not, as they're both even, I think, on this time with ERS. So he's having to burn up a little bit more. So that was not a great run there for Liddell. So actually, Scotty might put a bit of pressure on him here. So he's got a lot more ERS up his sleeve here. See what he does here. Does he go for a risky move? No, he thinks better of it. Oh, Liddell goes wide. Is this the move? Where is he? But this is just allowing Will to pull away a little bit here. Liddell hangs on for now. You can just see, I think the tyres might be starting to wearing out a little bit more for the medium compound runners because Will's under pressure. He doesn't quite have the setup possibly for this S section through here. That was a great shot there. Will just feeling the effects probably of the tyre wear starting to kick in now. Surprised Ned's not in the same boat, but of course he's leading the race, of course. Thinks about it going into the hairpin. No, not quite as kick, but it's slightly but surely. 2 seconds now, the gap behind this next group, as Chris is still putting pressure on, and he can include the Rock and that as well for 5th, 6th and 7th. So there's battles right, left and centre, of course. So once it all faces out, Liddell will actually be leading this race from Scotty in 2nd and Kick Butt in 3rd. Although it could change, depending on whether Chris can get by. You look at Scotty all over the back here. Does he really want to risk it? Liddell goes for a big dive on his contact between Scotty and Liddell, as there's a little bit of contact as well. As there's ghosting between Liddell and Scotty. But Scotty now gets into 3rd. Ned comes into the pit lane, so this battling has helped him out, I think. But Scotty now into 2nd spot. That's critical. So now he's got fresh air. This is probably where he wants to be. Where does Ned come out in all of this? Kick Butt is come in for the mediums. And Scooter Batata's on the softs, compounded tyres. So the softs should go to the end, but they'll have to make use of the grip while they've got it. It's a large margin to catch up, obviously. Kurt Boy gets a front wing change for a set of soft compounded tyres. Took just behind Kick Butt, actually on obviously older and warmer medium compounded tyres compared to Kick Butts. So keep an eye on that one. Grim is going to go to 11th ahead of Kurt Boy. Who was that battling around the outside? That's Liddell putting pressure on Scotty for what will be the effective race lead, and now Chris is in this battle as well. Now he's been freed from being stuck behind Kick Butt. I think Scotty was putting pressure there on Will. Oh, that's a bit wide for Liddell, and up the inside is contact between Chris and Liddell. I don't think it was far enough up. And now Liddell is starting to feel the pressure here. He might come under attack from the Rock. He will. So he's back down to 5th now. It'll be effectively 4th. So it's a Haas 1-3 currently at the moment. We're still waiting to see whether Will comes into the pit lane or not. I would assume he would be if he pulls off to the right-hand side. So Scotty will take the effective race lead. Get it slowed down. No, not quite will, unfortunately. And now this is Chris. And oh, big crash! Somehow that didn't end up with a DNF there for the Rock, but it's ended badly for him. That one may be a steward's inquiry. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But that's put Liddell now into second spot. And now the margin's just gone out even further between Liddell and Scotty. Might actually give him another spot there for Ned as well. Where's he currently? He's at turn 1. He's got 12 odd seconds. So he'd be probably going for the fast lap of the race as well. His teammate comes out behind him, obviously in 7th. So that's important because he's got a good margin behind a Patuka. Oh dear, that was the Rock, I think, just going wide. Obviously, he's got no front wing damage. Oh, I'm very shocked he didn't end up with a DNF from that. That could have changed this race quite completely, I'll tell you that much. But now 0.8 of a second now between Scotty and Bags Liddell. Let's see where I need to bring up the points the points system. Oh god, I'm a bit all over the shop here like always. 0.9 of a second between these guys, so not quite out of the DRS window, but it may actually help him out here. Chris is actually dropping away out of the 1 second window. Where's the point system here? There we go. So assuming that the Rock's going to come in again, potentially. We'll have to wait and see, but Scotty obviously will be trying to push on. Liddell's got the DRS, Chris does not, so he'll have to bide his time to try and catch that gap back up. As the Rock does come in. He'll be pretty fuming about that, I dare say. And that'll elevate Ned up into 5th spot at the moment. So if it was to stay like this, which I doubted it would, because hopefully no one set a fastest lap here. No, it's not. So first place gets 25 points. So that's what Scotty is at the moment. And 5th place, where Ned is, currently is scoring 11 points. So what's that? 14 points difference. If you add the 14, it'll be 58 points. So that might be still enough. If he drops a spot, obviously, it'll drop down 5 points. So that might be 53 points. It might just be enough. So even if he doesn't win this race, Scotty, it might just be enough. Unless Ned can do anything to catch up to Rick, on those old hards. And again, the tyre wear will come into factor later on. Console crashed. You'd love to see it. Yeah, PS5 for the win, absolutely. It does happen sometimes. I've had that happen a few times, actually, when it crashes. But if Scotty finishes in 3rd, now Chris is now in the 1 second window, but if Scotty is in 3rd, there's yellow flags again between, I think, Nachos and Mets. But if Scotty finishes 3rd, he only scores him 16 points. So there'll only be a 5-point gain. It won't be enough. Does Liddell go for it? No, he thinks better of it. Importantly, Liddell can't get a penalty at this stage. Who's got the fastest lap currently? Where is it here? There we go. There's still Patuka with a 29.061. Ned set a 29.368 on his set of soft compounded tyres, so it wasn't just quite quick enough here. So at the moment, Patuka would get the extra bonus point for the fastest lap of the race, though that could change. The Rock may potentially take that away, considering he's on fresh softs. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the stream caught that one as well, if you saw that as well, or you were watching it on your screen as well. So, yeah, like I said, there could be some steward inquiries after this race, like usual. So this race might not be decided yet, or the final finishing positions might not be decided yet. Let's quickly do this. So Scotty, where is he at? He's got 1 warning. Bags Liddell, absolute zilch, and Chris. Well, he's got 2 warnings, so he might have to be cautious. We'll have a look at Rick's as well. He's on 2 warnings as well, so it'll be very close. Look at Liddell putting pressure on the back of that Haas. Wouldn't be surprised that wouldn't have got a warning there for Chris, but I'll be shocked. Liddell, he wants to try for that race win. There's Nachos just leaving the lane. And Scotty just hangs on for now. He'll be doing all he can to hang on. With the tyres he's got, he'll be absolutely hanging on for dear life. first and second. So if Ned doesn't catch up to these guys and stays fifth, then pretty much all Scotty has to do is finish in the top 2 positions, I think, from memory. Ooh, that's be tight there between Liddell and Scotty. So Scotty has to, I think, finish in the top 2 positions to be guaranteed that the championship is crowned here and not next week at Monaco. He can't afford 3rd or 4th, if my math is correct. So he has to pretty much stay in this race lead and hope the other guys behind start to battle a little bit. That's all he's got to hope for, really. So Liddell will be trying to get that race win that probably should have been his last week. But obviously, in the end, it wasn't, because obviously got Rick got the both 5-second penalties removed. Thought it was disgusting. Yeah, like I said, I'll leave my views on that one, and I dare say the RS4 chat's going to go nuts after this one. Ned bumped Reaper off. Yeah, forgot about that, to mention that one as well. So, like I said, there might be some stewards' inquiries after this race, so we'll wait and see. I'm just I'm just doing 2 things at once here. I'm watching the good old NRL at the moment. It looking likely I'm going to be getting 8 out of 8 this week in my tipping comp, so that's lovely stuff. But 0.3 of a second is the gap between the top, well, he gets a top 5 is under half a second. Liddell doing everything he can to try and take this win away from Scotty. Can't afford a time penalty. That might cost him. Chris could be still under investigation for what occurred earlier on. Rick, possibly. Who knows? Rock gets a 3-second time penalty. How close was he? As Volcanic obviously leaves the session. Obviously, he's DNF'd. 29.147, so he didn't quite get the fastest lap. So Patuka still holds it. And this Patuka could be a man we might see moving up a few tiers potentially. You never know. Look at the top 4 now. It's literally nothing. Where is it? No, this one I need. 1.5 seconds covers the top 4. There's basically nothing. With that, as we start lap 23 of 27, not many laps to go. I don't think Ned looks like he's got the pace to catch up to these top 4 unless these guys tangle. That much at the front's getting closer. Liddell's trying everything. Be sick of seeing cars stuck up the rear end of cars here at this rate. He's been stuck behind majority of these things for quite a while now. He want to be out front and maybe pulling away, but he's still stuck behind cars. I caught the back end of it, Volcanic. You might have to watch the stream back, and I think I caught the back end of it just when your tyre just fell off, or just after your tyre fell off. So I'm guessing you just gave the wall a little bit of a nudge and the tyre just randomly fell off. That has happened in this game. Trust me. As you can see Rick putting pressure now on his Ecos, I assume the Ecos is an esports team. He's putting a bit of pressure there on his teammate. It's just allowed those two at front to just pull away. Who do you want to be at this point in time? I don't think I want to know. Ned is slowly but surely coming back to these guys. But his tyres will be starting to die off as well, so he want to make sure he's got some grip up his sleeve. Just for something later on. Well, he's got to make some good margin if he wants to catch up to these guys. Liddell, can he get a good run through here? Looks like he didn't quite nail the Casio triangle, so he might have to bide his time. But again, he'll have to watch behind because Chris is catching and Rick's catching. So, and that car, obviously that car behind is Jay Nachos. He's a lap down. As why isn't it showing a lap down? Oh, he's actually on the leading side of things, but interval, I don't know why. I was going 5k, hit the wall, and 3 seconds later the whole thing flew off. Yeah, I think I know what you mean there, Volcanic. The quality crash was spectacular. I'm going to assume it's the one with Schooner Matata potentially, as that was Jay Nachos off the road. At the yellow flags, so gets a little bit further down and he's just rage quit. So Unless that's something to do with his wheel again, I don't know. As Metz is off the road again. Yeah, because he did have, I do remember he did have wheel issues back at Mexico. As who's that around? That's Kick Butt. He's around. That's an unusual spot. Why is he in reverse here? Is he just waiting for cars to go by? What? Has he got control of his car? Don't tell me he's stuck. Has he just been disqualified for parking in a dangerous spot? Please don't tell me he just actually got stuck there. Oh my god, that would be awkward. But now he's going to drop back to 16th because he's now been disqualified, obviously. Let's go back to the front here. 0.3 of a second. Rick's in the lane and gets a 5-second penalty. Ah, that's why, because he got a puncture. Oh, around the outside. This is the battle. Oh, tight. You want to really fight it? You can't get two cars through the S section here. They're still going side by side. This is not the angle I want, Cody's. He might have the inside line here. Liddell takes the lead. Well, now, importantly, Ned's up in the 4th spot now. And that's very important as well. We have to keep an eye on that one because that's just given him another couple of points, I think. So they give him 13 points. 20 points. So it's only 7 points. So he's only 1 point away, I think, from mathematically wrapping it up. But he needs to win this race, does Scotty, to wrap up the championship. That's his only hope now, barring, of course, nobody else gets a puncture late on. But who knows? Ned might come under attack from maybe later on, although Patuka's on 14-lap old medium, so I doubt for on that one. Unless Rick goes absolutely nuts in his last couple of laps, which I doubt would be the case. 25 and what's that? 13. So that's 12 points. So that would be 56 points. Scooter Matata gets a 3-second time penalty. So 56 points would be enough for Scotty to take the championship. Although he's got to win the race. He tries to switch back. Tony, overtake off, please. You don't need to keep it on. Don't keep it on through the S section. You're just going to burn battery through here. And of course, you're going to be... why are you still using the ERS, Scotty? Turn it off. You don't need it through the S section here. You're just burning battery and you're just giving margin to Bags Liddell. So on current rates, the championship would go to Monaco next week. As Jay Nachos is into the pit lane. Good news, Banana, you're not last anymore. That's now Kick Butt Kiwi, who of course got himself disqualified. Oh, Chris is now outside the window. Oh, he's got a left front puncture. So that'll... Okay, definitely the championship's going to Monaco next week. Someone's out. Metz is out of the Grand Prix. I need to find somebody who's near him. There he is. So they've pushed too hard on their hard compounded tyres. They had to try it, but they've pushed too hard. So that'll put Ned up in the 3rd spot, barring he doesn't get a puncture, of course. What about these two? They're the only other two. We have to keep an eye on that they don't get a puncture. Of course, they're on only 1 lap difference between those guys, but they've got to manage their tyres to the end. And what is it? 3rd point is 16 points. And 20 points, so it'd only be a 4-point margin. It's only be 48 points. If, well, is Chris still going? Yes, he is, but he's struggling with that puncture on the last lap of the race. And there goes 3rd spot. Rick gets the fastest lap of the race. So you'll take that extra bonus point. Where are these guys standing, I suppose? Be the next thing. Let me just, I'm trying to do some quick maths here. Would Scotty still win it if he won the race? 9 points. What would it be? 25 and 16. That's 9 points. If you add 9, what's that? 53. So Scotty would be hoping maybe for a puncture, possibly for Liddell, to maybe get the championship. There's only a few more corners to go here. Who do you want to be on at this point? Ned, I don't think will possibly have enough time left to catch up to these guys, but Will these guys get home to the end of this race? They have to burn everything they've got. If Scotty stays where he is, the championship will go to Monaco. And it might just go that way. What an epic fight this has been in RS4. Punctures galore. These guys just manage it to the end. And Bags Liddell's going to manage to hang on just ahead of Scotty there to win the Japanese Grand Prix in RS4. What a great battle right to the end. Ned gets onto the podium, so that's definitely the championships going to the next round at Monaco for the time being. Chris gets home with a puncture in 4th. Will get 5th. Rick ends up in 6th, obviously, but depending, he might get a 5-second penalty removal, unless that was a... Oh, that might have been a penalty for spinning in the pit, so that might not get removed. Scooter Matata gets 7th. Grim Reaper will get 8th. And, well, obviously, might get a penalty. Well, no, he might not get a penalty removed because he's spent in the pit lane. So Rock will get 8th. Grim in 9th. Oh, my days, what the hell just happened? Yep, that literally happened, I think, for the last couple of laps, I think, with Chris. Ned gets the driver of the day, probably deserving in the end. I need to do my maths very quickly. What was that? 20 and 16. There's only 4 points. So Scotty gained 4 points on Ned there, so it's not enough to wrap up the championship this week. So it's going another week to the streets of Monaco, where who knows what carnage will happen there. Oh my days, I'm definitely going to have to rest my voice here after this one. And just good time because the footy hasn't finished either. But Bags Liddell hangs on just by 0.3 of a second over Scotty there in position 2, sorry, my apologies. Ned gets on the podium, obviously from 10th on the grid. Started on the medium compound tyres, did the opposite strategy, and it sort of worked out for him in the end. Chris, with 3 wheels in the end, finished up in 4th. He tried to hang on to a podium, but just fell away at the end. Will ends up in position 5, so that's good points for Alfa Romeo. So that might help him out. Rick gets position 6. Who knows what could have happened if he may have stayed out. He'll get the extra bonus point for the fastest lap of the race. And hopefully he won't annoy Banana later on, or next week. Scooter Batata at 7th. Rock in 8th. Green Reaper in 9th. And Batuka rounds out your top 10. They're just outside. Kurt Boy in 11th. And then, well, Jane Nachos, I don't know whether he'll be classified or not. Metz in 13th. And then the 2 DNF has been Volcanic and Banana. And Kick Butt getting himself disqualified, obviously. Probably, again, not intentional at all. But let's just say there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to happen post this race. Let me get the incidents very quickly, if anybody needs them. Very quickly, while we've only got a few seconds left on the sleeve. But well done with that cluster of a race. You're not wrong there, Banana. Oh my God, that was certainly entertaining. You didn't know which way it would go in the end, did you? Really? So it could have gone either way. Punctures right at the end. Who finished where? The championship would have been decided potentially, but it's going another week. I know that for a fact anyway. But anyway, I think that's probably where we'll leave it there, guys and girls. So give it a big smash on that like button if you did enjoy it, and subscribe to the Race Spec Esports channel if you haven't already. Go follow their social media channels. They're down in the description. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to come and join the league, I mean, there's only 2 races left to go in the season, obviously. But if you want to come and join the league, there's a link to the Discord link down below. So if you want to get yourselves, either come for the last 2 races or even to get yourselves ready for F1 2021, if that doesn't prove you that you want to drive in F1 2021, and I don't know what is really. But if you want to come and follow my social media links, they're also down in the description as well. Oh my God. Tune in about 10 minutes time, I think, from memory. Well, roughly about 10 minutes time for RS1 with Plebs. He'll be doing that once again. Hopefully there's no issues with the lobby like he's been having the last couple of weeks. But though they've brought in a rule, I think, for this from this round onwards, that if you join during qualifying like late, then obviously there'll be an issue there. Or no, sorry, you can't join during qualifying if you're running late, sort of thing. So you'll have to miss out on the race. But that's where we'll leave it, I think, guys and girls. in the end. I think everything's going all over the shop there. But thanks for all the support, as always. And bring on Monaco, I say. But the drivers will be absolutely loving life, hopefully. Hopefully that none of them will be spending a lot of time on the yachts anyway. But yeah, till then on Tuesday for Pacific, Euro and Americas,